If you're building a beauty brand, this is not just about the product. This is about how it sells, consumer discovery, and why this particular business model keeps showing up in beauty. Hair care continues to be one of the strongest categories in beauty right now. We're seeing growth driven by treatment formats, scalp health, and products that drive real, meaningful results. Consumers are becoming much more intentional. They're not just buying shampoo, they're buying solutions. And at the same time, we're also seeing a major shift in how beauty products are being discovered and sold. Consumers aren't just buying through traditional retail or brand owned channels anymore. They're buying through communities, creators, affiliate models, and trusted relationships. So the question becomes, how are these products actually reaching consumers? I wanted to break this down with someone who's actually operating inside one of these business models in real time. Meet Jenny Marie Lamarck, hair and scalp expert for beauty brand Monat for over the past 5 years and a longtime registered nurse. Jenny Marie, thank you so much for being here. I am genuinely so excited that you're here and for this conversation, because I really think that this is a side of beauty, distribution and affiliate marketing and commerce that founders are curious about, but don't always fully know how to operate it or how to leverage it. So with that said, I am truly grateful that you're here, as you are an expert in this space. Let's jump right in with the questions. You've been operating within this space as a beautypreneur for Monat for over the past 5 years, as I just mentioned. For anyone not familiar, who is Monat, and what are the 2 or 3 products that you personally use and sell the most?
Awesome. Well, first and foremost, thank you for this opportunity. I'm so excited as well to meet with you. So, Monat, it stands for Modern Nature, okay? We are a premium beauty and wellness brand, really focused on aging, scalp health, and helping people get to the root of their hair concerns versus just putting a temporary fix on top. So coming from my nursing background, I fell in love with the science side. I've been a nurse for 18 years, and for the last 6, I really have been hyper focused on scalp health and became an expert. I'm also an aspiring trichologist, which is somebody between a cosmetologist and a dermatologist. So I'm super excited about that. And because healthy hair truly starts with a healthy scalp. So my 3 main products is the trio. We call it the trio. It's basically the most universal products. These products are very customized to specific hair types, but these 3 are like the staple products that every woman should have from all hair textures, all scalp types. So number 1 is the Rejuvenique oil. It's our hero product. It's our crown jewel, and I call it liquid gold. It's lightweight. It's a dry oil. We use it for scalp health and hair health, of course, but it does have 101 uses. You could use it all over your skin, your cuticles, all of the things, but obviously we focus more on the scalp. The other line is the IR clinical line. This line specifically was formulated by a scientific board from the University of Miami. Super excited. This is like one of the products we're super proud of, especially for people struggling with thinning and shedding. And I can go all into the science about that, but we'll leave that for another day. And then the last one is the Rejuva beads. It's because everybody wants help with those dry ends, and we don't realize that as fast as our hair grows, our ends get super damaged, and so we end up kind of just every month meeting in the middle and not really like getting that retention. So it's definitely one of those things to help, one of the products that we have to help nourish the ends. Um, a lot of people come to me thinking they have a hair problem, but many times we start addressing, the scalp.
Great. Well, that was awesome. Thank you so much. So let's go back for a second to the product itself, and then we'll go into the specific products you mentioned, because I have a personal anecdote to share. So what you're describing is really tied to results beyond products, which aligns with where the hair care category is actually going right now. So it's very, very insightful that you shared that. And as a personal anecdote, I want to share that I'm absolutely loving the product you sent me. Thank you so much. But also beyond that, when I was pregnant, I used the Rejuvenique oil. So definitely, I'm so glad I was actually using a hero product and didn't know it. But I also used the hydrating shampoo, conditioner, and a hair mask. And I have to say that unlike most women I know, my hair stayed healthy, remained healthy long after giving birth because I consistently used these products during pregnancy. And my hair looked beautiful during pregnancy because that's natural for most women, but it stayed that way even after pregnancy. So, and I credit the Monet products that I use. So thank you, Monet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yes, for sure. All right, so let's jump right into the next question. How are you actually generating sales? This is really important. Is it content? Is it relationships, or a mix of both?
It's definitely a mix of both. Content creates visibility, but relationships create customers. And this is why I've been able to build a residual income with these brands and actually leverage it and really step away from my nursing career. So social media opens the door, right? But I don't believe in just throwing links at people. I really like that connection. I educate, ask questions, learn what they're struggling with, and help them find the right solution. So again, with my nursing background, taught me to assess first, right? And not everybody needs the same thing. So if you're just sending links to people because they think they need it, it may not be the right product for them, and then they end up not having the results that they want. So I use social media as leverage to attracts people who are having, scalp issues or hair issues, and then provide them, with the education and information so that they can make, a very well informed decision of what products they want to try out.
Right, right. Great. That's helpful to understand. What I hear is that this isn't just about posting products or sending links. It's really about uh, how you're building trust and driving conversions through people, and in a very almost in a very customized way.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing. Moving on to Meta Affiliate. You started using Meta Affiliate. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this changes or amplifies discovery and conversion.
So affiliate programs have changed everything because people are already shopping through social media. And so how Monet is different is that yes, we are posting more links. However, each post that is specifically that I post is very tactful. It's targeting a specific problem. And so if you meet all of the criteria of that specific problem, you're like, oh my God, I have the shedding, I have the thinning edges, my hair scalp is super dry. This is exactly what I need. Then you can go ahead and click the link. And sometimes we live in a very society that's very fast paced. And so sometimes that person may not have the opportunity to speak to you in the moment, but they want to solve their problem quickly. And so it's kind of like, getting to the product faster, but also being well informed, right there with the link. It allows everyday people, stylists, creators, moms, nurses, anyone, that wants to monetize what they're already talking about, instead of needing a storefront or inventory. That's something that we definitely don't have with Monet is you don't carry inventory. You purchase your products directly through the link. You can create content, educate, build trust, as you speaking about, and earn from recommendations.
I love that because, part of building a brand, if you will, is or a barrier to entry, I would say, to building a brand is the operations, the operational foundations. And that includes, all the costs that you're basically need to expend to set up your foundation, including inventory, including logistics and everything that goes with that. Discovery for you then is focused on expanding beyond your network while conversion is still happening through trust and content. Let's move on into what's actually converting. Tell me, what's actually driving conversion? Is it, education, results, or personal story?
Honestly, it's all three, but connection comes first. People can buy shampoo anywhere, right? It's accessible anywhere you go. They buy because they trust you. So my story is a huge part of my business. I was a burnt out nurse during COVID, working multiple jobs, and started because I needed another option. So what began as products turned into confidence, a community, and eventually opening my own scalp spa. And so I think sharing a little bit of my story, I identify with other women that may be struggling, that have lost their confidence, within their hair, because I was burnt out. My hair was dry, it was shedding. I was in a really bad place when it came to my own self-care. And so people connect with the person before they connect with the product, right? So that's very important.
Absolutely. What you're saying then is not relegated to just the one thing. It's truly a multifaceted approach that's packaged and delivered very intentionally, which is consistent with what you shared earlier. If an indie beauty founder is watching this, this is where I think this is going to be very apropos for this audience. What should they understand about this business model?
They should understand the power of community and distribution. A great product matters, but a loyal community is what creates longevity. The future of beauty is changing. People want real stories, real results, and recommendations from people that they trust.
100%. 100%. That's very insightful because especially coming from you, you've been operating within this business model and with your level of expertise. So I appreciate that perspective as well. And for someone who's just a beauty enthusiast, they're not ready to necessarily launch a brand or embark on their own journey in terms of, as a beautypreneur, if you will. How can they think about this as a starting point, leveraging Monet and the business model?
Yeah, absolutely. So start with what you already love, right? Or what you're already doing, monetizing your beauty routine. Monet is a brand, right? Obviously, Monet is not a brand that I personally came up with. However, when you link arms, you basically make it your own. You grab Monet. I mean, you don't have to worry about distribution. You don't got to worry about the products, any of that. And you don't need to be an influencer. You don't even need to have a huge following. If you love beauty, hair, wellness, creating content, or helping others, especially because that's where my heart really lies, you can learn the business side as you grow. I was not a business person whatsoever. All I knew was putting in IVs, doing CPR, all of the things, and it's things that I just learned as I went, and it actually taught me valuable life lessons that no college degree could ever teach me. I started as a customer first, and I had no intention of building what I have today. And look where I am now.
This is so inspiring. I love that because, I think that if you have a certain sort of life stage, and you're looking to embark on another journey, this could be an avenue. Maybe you're thinking about building a beauty brand, but are not yet ready because of, all of the things that you have to set up front. But something like this is almost like your testing ground. Try it this way first and then build from there.
Exactly.
I love that you started your scalp spa. That's amazing.
Yes, you know what? My sister pushed me. She's very entrepreneur minded, and she's like, Jenny, I was doing a lot of events, washing hair already and all the things, and she said, Jenny, why don't you open up a scalp spa? You're not applying chemicals, you're not applying anything. It's all natural products, and you just educate your customers. And of course, I collaborated with actual cosmetologists and hairstylists, so we worked together to provide the best outcome for the client. Yeah, it's been super exciting. It's been over a year and a half since I opened it.
Congratulations. I actually did not know that. So thanks for sharing. And just going back to this for a second with the beauty enthusiast. So what you're essentially saying that it's less about building a brand and more so about understanding how the products actually sell and the ecosystem that they operate under
Right.
as a starting point. And if someone wanted to start today and layer this business model, they already have a brand that they're selling and driving revenue from, but they're really looking to expand their channel strategy. What would the first 30 days actually look like for them?
The first 30 days are simple. Learn the products, share the story, create conversations, and build confidence. You don't overthink it. Don't overthink becoming an expert overnight. We have free mentorship. We hold your hand. We give you the blueprints. I always tell people your story is your superpower. Someone is one step behind you looking for the solution that you just found. So if you just come as yourself, you're willing to be coachable, and you're willing to just give in that grit for the first 30 days, you could become an expert rather quickly, and generate that extra income and also feel very confident in, collaborating and linking arms with the brand and making your own, niche.
I think that, you know, again, I mentioned barrier to entry before. I think it's really about not knowing, like, how do I actually start? What is the barrier to entry? And oftentimes it comes down to lacking the confidence to take that first step and lacking the know-how to take that first step. But knowing that they would be sort of mentored is super helpful to know that they'd be supported along every step, if you will. From your vantage point, Jenny Marie, where do beauty brand founders get this business model wrong? We'd love to hear.
Yeah, so they think it's about selling, and it's not. People chase quick money, viral videos, and transactions, but real businesses are built on relationships, trust, and consistency. Attention is great, but community is what creates long-term income.
Amazing. And as a final question, Jenny Marie, if a beauty founder or enthusiast wanted to get started, wanted help in getting started today, how could they reach you directly?
How they can reach me directly is I could give them, they could go through my Instagram. That is my business card. That is my resume, my profile. And you could reach me directly through there and we could just get started. I usually meet with my potential business partners over Zoom meeting. And just like any business, this is a true business. Where you make a small investment in the sense of you just change your current hair care products and you just launch your business. You get a business in a box, free back office. You get the products and you're using them for yourself. You're not necessarily using them as inventory. Use them for yourself, family, and friends. And then we hit the ground running and we start with your trainings through Meta. We are also on TikTok Shop, believe it or not. And we've been on TikTok Shop for a year and we have sold millions on TikTok Shop. We actually are the number 6 hair care category on TikTok Shop. And so we just get you going. You just have to come with the energy and the enthusiasm. It's just very simple. It's very simple, but it's something that you just have to give your time into a little bit in the beginning and just be coachable. That's the most important thing.
Sounds like the person has to come with a level of openness, a level of enthusiasm, and ready to try something new. And it's great to know that you're also on TikTok Shop. So that's another channel because someone may not be, maybe more versed towards TikTok Shop versus Instagram. So this is great as another avenue. What's the next best step for them?
Yeah, so we would provide the links directly to my Instagram. And if you go to my bio, there is a link that says connect with me. You would fill out the application and I would reach out directly and we will set up a one-to-one Zoom. Again, this is a very serious business venture. This is not something that I take lightly. And if you're very interested, then I would love to speak with you and see where your goals are. And if both our goals align, then we link arms and we hit the ground running. Start with the mentorship. You do invest in the product pack right away so you can start using, touching, feeling the products so that you can become that expert, right? That everybody is going to flock to. And then we just go from there and hit the ground running.
Amazing, amazing. For those of you watching, if you're curious about how this works in practice, I'll link Jenny Marie's page below so you could actually see what she's building in real time. And as she mentioned, her Instagram is her sort of business card. So you'll see firsthand what she's doing and how this works. Is there anything else that perhaps you wanted to add before we part ways today?
Yes, I just wanted to add that this has absolutely been a life-changing opportunity for me. And I know that sounds a little corny and cliche, but it actually has. It has brought so much confidence in me. It has brought out a creative side that even my family has no idea existed in me. I never thought that I would be on social media. I never thought that I would be doing this, but this is where life has brought me, and it's just been so exciting. And it truly is one of those things where leverage is so important. We think that the real goal is chasing money, but it's actually chasing freedom. And if you start to understand that, if you really truly sit with yourself and understand what leverage is, you truly, truly will become a better person, and truly find the happiness that a lot of us are chasing.
I love the way you said that. That's amazing. For those of you watching, if you're curious about how this works in practice, as Jenny Marie noted, she'll share her link, and I'll note it in the description and everything. I'll basically provide all of her details so that you can actually see how she's building this in real time on her IG. It's her business card, so you'll really see how it's operating. And if you're interested, link with her directly, and then you can take it from there. Jenny Marie, thank you so much. This has been so fun and insightful. I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. If you're building a beauty brand, this isn't necessarily about emulating this business model. It's about understanding how distribution is evolving and where your brand fits into it. As a takeaway, what you're seeing is not just affiliate marketing, it's a people powered distribution model. At its core, this model is driven by relationships, where trust sits with the individual, not just the brand. It's structured around performance, meaning revenue is directly tied to conversion, not just visibility. And now, with platforms like Meta entering the picture, it's expanding beyond personal networks into broader discovery driven ecosystems. This is also very similar with what we're seeing on TikTok, where discovery is driven by content and conversion is happening through creators. Different platform, same underlying shift with how products are actually moving. And when you layer in what's actually happening in the hair care category right now, a category that's becoming increasingly treatment focused and driven by visible results, it becomes even much more powerful. Because consumers today are actively looking for solutions, when a high demand category such as hair care meets a distribution model that's built on trust, consistency, and performance, that's when you start to see real scale. And that's really the shift that's happening here. If you want my indie beauty growth audit, I'll link it in the description below. If you're building an indie beauty brand and this content resonated, I share similar insights for indie beauty founders and support teams looking to turn early wins into scalable strategic growth. Next week, I'll share how leveraging private label for your beauty brand can be a game changer. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you and see you in the next.